Oh, namaste, beautiful earth flowers. Welcome to my beautiful space today, my beautiful nature space. So, have a blessed week as well. So, today we're going to talk about, is our true self a competitive one? So, we're going back to as we are born. We are born completely innocent, completely open as a spirit. So, you are not born with a culture programming, neither a religion, neither knowing what man or women is, so you don't know even the difference. So as you are born completely on this plane, you are born innocent. You are not born as a competitive soul. That is surely not the truth. You are born rather as light, as love, as peace, as oneness, as grace, as compassion, as courage, as a wise soul. All of this is what your soul is consists of, because you are in truth the absolute self, reincarnating on this plane as consciousness. One chooses a form to experience and to express life through. So your soul is not a competitive one, but as we've been brought up in a society that teaches us to compete. For example, when one grows up, one has to go to school. Since we are placed in school, we are placed into the smartest and the less smart. Even they can call you dumb. They can label you as smart or they can label you as dumb. This is how this society has been brought us into. So you are acquired to learn a subject, and then the teachers will grade you. They will grade you with a number. From where I come from the Caribbean, you are graded from 0 till 10. So 0 is, of course, not a good grade, and 10 is the highest grade that one could have got growing up in the Caribbean. In the American system, you have the A's, the B, the C's, and the D's. So it's the same. So you are being brought up, and the society teaches us to compete. Because if you don't get the grade that is acquired from that school, you will flunk. You will have to repeat the course once more. And you will feel, in actuality, like you are dumb. Because everybody is moving on, but you are staying again and repeating a course because the teachers tell you you have not fully grasped that course. So this is a society we have been brought into. But in actuality, our souls is not competitive at all. Of course, we have sports that one is competing through, but a competition can be done consciously. Not all competitions should be done unconsciously, meaning within the ego mind intentions, because the ego wants to prosper. It would never want to lose, because if it loses, it feels like a failure, like a loser, like the society has taught us. Like if you don't pass your grade, if you don't succeed in life, if you don't have the necessary papers, if you don't have the beautiful car, if you don't have the house, you have failed, you haven't succeeded. This is what we have been brought into. This is the type of society that created an identity out of us. But in actuality, we are pure free soul, presence, consciousness. So consciousness is the highest vibration. When one discovers I am in truth consciousness rather than a form or a persona or an identity that is projected out of myself, only that can be seen and experienced temporarily, but the consistent truth is my conscious self, one knows that all is consciousness. All of life is consciousness. All souls are consciousness, because consciousness is a different word for soul. As spirit is the same word used in different ways, but it's the same expression: consciousness, love, soul, spirit. So as you know, all is consciousness, all is soul. This is what they say, we are brothers and sisters, because consciousness has one true cosmic parent, and that is the source, and that is God or Shiva, Krishna, Allah, all these names that are used nowadays to describe the highest vibration, the highest source, which is the most purest, which creates consciousness, which is us. So our true cosmic parent is the highest source. So everyone that is here on this plane has the same true cosmic parent. So by knowing this, you realize that you are not separated, but in actuality, you are one. We are one. By knowing this, you know that all forms that consciousness has chosen to create on this plane, on other planes, are for experience, are for soul evolution, are for soul growth, are for soul awakening. So every form that is now walking on this plane is your brother or your sister. Every form, because in every form exists in soul. So we are all walking our way home. This is what it means we are walking our way home. Because we are all brothers and sisters. In actuality, we only chose a temporary form to experience life. With that temporary form, you chose your mom as temporary form of a mom. You have a temporary form of a dad, which creates you, the child. And you have temporary forms of sisters and brothers, which you consider the bloodline. But in actuality, this bloodline, physicality, is only temporarily. The consistent truth is the soul within. This soul is one consciousness. So in all of life exists this consciousness. From the trees, to a bug, to a fly, to a bear, to a dog, to a cat. From even the buildings exists consciousness, because everything is energy and in all exists the same consciousness. So then you start seeing life in a much more higher and broader perspective. Meaning, you're not seeing life as I am separate than you. No, you see the oneness in everything that exists on this earthly plane. So why would you compete with yourself? You see? So when you discover that all is consciousness, all is you, everybody is your brother soul, your sister soul, why would you compete with yourself? Why would you compete with the same self, the same consciousness, which is one? So when one discovers this, one realizes that competition comes from a pre-programmed mind. So the mind has competitive thoughts, like I need to be better than her or better than him. I need to achieve the same, or I'm a failure. So that's how we've been brought up, to see others, to compare and to compete. And when one does this, one becomes actually a competitive soul. When you are flowing from the mind, from competition, to become better than somebody else, you will create suffering. Because you're always feeling, the feelings of insecurity will come into your space, the sensations, and the sensations of doubt and fear will always come into your space. The sensations of either superiority or inferiority will come into your space, because that's the competitive ego. That's how ego flows, with these sensations. So feeling good, feeling bad, feeling higher, feeling low, feeling better than you, feeling worse than you, comparing your step from last year to my step today, comparing your future step to what it can create, because the ego creates a future that it's not even existent, just to compare, to compete, because that's the way it wants to stay existent. Because the ego, let's say, is a separate entity from yourself. It is here to challenge you, so you can always decide if I am willing to believe the thoughts of the mind, or if I know these thoughts are not deriving from my heart, but rather from an egoic mind, which is separate from me. As you discover this by going within yourself, and you get direct experience from, yes, this form is not consistent. The sensations can never be consistent, because they all come and go in my space like temporary clouds. So one day I'm feeling high, or the next one moment I'm feeling high, the next moment I'm feeling low. How can I be this? Because I am one, I am aware of these sensations. I am the one always aware of the sensations. The sensations are never aware of you. Sadness doesn't come to your door and knock and say, hey, I am sadness. No, you identified with the feelings of sadness and say, I feel sad. So you make that statement. Sadness doesn't make that statement. So a sensation can never be consistent. It can never be real. The only truth is the awareness that is observing all the sensations. So a sensations of competition can arise into your space. Maybe you're, let's say you play baseball. And I love sports. So I'm not saying don't be a sportsman, don't do any competition. No, you can play sports and be conscious while you're playing sports. let's say baseball, you have your team, you go for your team. Or football, here in Holland, we love football. So we go, when there's the World Cup, we are for Holland, let's say. We can have that feeling, yay, we want to win against Brazil, let's say, and we win, for example. So we feel, wow, we won. So you have that feeling of yay, but you see, it's all friendly. It's all friendly competition for the one who's observing that game. For the one who's playing, if it becomes of an egoic host body, you will create suffering, because some days you win, other times you lose. That's life. So if you are always according, you have to win, you have to win, otherwise you don't feel good, then you will create suffering, because God will test you. And one day He would let you feel the sensations of losing. And what you're gonna do? You can't do anything about it. You just have to keep on moving forward. Just experience the sensation. See what life has taught you when you felt the sensation of losing a game or a chance to get a job or an opportunity. It can happen. So all in life is just a teaching for your conscious evolution, a teaching for your soul growth. So nothing should be taken that seriously. In actuality, we're all brothers and sisters, flowing in life together, walking our way home, meaning walking our way to the heart, by realizing we are one, we are consciousness, we are not only the temporary form or experiences or sensations, we are much more than that, beyond that. By realizing you are beyond the form, beyond your experiences, that you are the consistent truth, which is consciousness, you become universally one. Because then you can sit with everyone. You can sit with a Allah devotee, you can sit with a Buddha devotee, you can sit with a Christ devotee, but you see the oneness in all, because all these beings had the same sight, which is the sight of oneness, the sight of universality. It's only man that created religion. Joshua didn't create Christianity. You understand? He found Christ within. Like Siddhartha did not create Buddhism. He found the Buddha within. And then man created religion, Buddhism, Christianity, Catholic. So all was created by a man. But the true seekers, which is Joshua, Siddhartha, these beings that walk this path, they did not create this religion. They found the absolute self. They found the Christ within. They found the Krishna. They're all the same. They found the Buddha within. They did not compete to become better than another. They found the truth within, that we are all one. And this is what they brought to the world. This love, this oneness, this peace, this unity. And to see that only the ego eyes can create separation and duality. But the heart, the eyes of the heart, the eyes of the true self, the eyes of consciousness, sees only oneness. Needs no competition, accepts everyone as they are, will even support everyone for whatever they want to do. If you want to become a clown, if you want to become a owner of the bank, for example, it's your dream. The true self supports, because every unique expression is divinely chosen via consciousness itself. It wants to experience that. And all chosen is for us as a mirror, so we can learn from each other. So you are a mirror for me, you are inspiration for me. I see myself within you, because we are one soul, one love, one life actually, because life is consciousness. So as you are consciousness, you are life. You are experiencing life. Only identity can experience life. Consciousness is life. Without you, without consciousness, without soul, there can never be a walking form, life, because the soul moves the body. So that is what I give you guys today. So don't feel the pressure that you have to look to another and to feel the need to compete to become the best or better or the same. Just be yourself. Just flow via your heart, and life takes care of life. So everything that your heart truly desires, life will grant you it for you to experience. If it's temporarily or if it's long term, life will grant you it, believe me. But always know that we are one. One light, one love, one consciousness. So one peace, one unity, one oneness. So there's no separation in consciousness, in soul. It's only in the forms. It exists temporarily to experience a unique and prosperous, abundant life. Abundant meaning your life is eternal. That is the most precious richness, your eternal life. So I give you guys this today. Hopefully it will enlighten your soul to expand more and more into your true conscious self, knowing we are one. No need to competition, no need to be anything, as being is what you are. I love you all. Om Namaste, my beautiful earth flowers. Peace and love. Mwah. Bye.